What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today, I'm making Jamaican style beef patties. It's kind of like a savory Pop-Tart. Let's get on with the recipe.
Look, I'm not an expert in Jamaican food. I'm not an expert in savory meat pockets, but I did grow up eating a Jamaican patty almost every single day from 1995 to 2000. So I'm kind of like an expert, or at least my younger adolescent self was kind of like an expert. And this recipe is helping me go back to that time because flavors, tastes, recipes, foods, it's like a time capsule of deliciousness. But that's enough of a history lesson. We're making patties, Jamaican style patties, with a turmeric based pie crust. Now, what is turmeric? Well, it's a root. And other than lending that awesome yellow color to a lot of different things, such as this pie crust, it has sort of like a mustard-like earthy aroma. Super pungent and slightly bitter, but it definitely lends awesomeness to this recipe. For this patty, I'm using ground beef, but it could also be made with chicken, pork, lamb. It can be made vegetarian with various vegetables. You could use shrimp, lobster, you get the idea. The interesting thing about this recipe and using a variety of different proteins is usually the flavor base is the same. And that all starts with an onion. I start with the onion because I'm trying to build layers of flavor. And when you prepare the onion first, it brings out all the sugars of the onion by carefully caramelizing it. It's the same thing with other vegetables part of the onion family and even garlic. Like I said at the beginning of the video, this is a Jamaican-inspired beef patty. I'm borrowing things that I'm used to and things that I've researched, but I'm not using all things that are typically used in a very specific Jamaican patty. For example, I couldn't find Scotch bonnet peppers, so I'm going to leave that out. Also, I don't really do well with spice, so I'm just going to use a little bit of cayenne pepper to achieve a tad bit of spice. Again, this is just loosely inspired by Jamaica and my high school cafeteria. Now, don't sleep on adding ketchup to this ground beef mixture. Also, don't sleep on ketchup unless you add some gelatin and solidify it a little bit. When I bite into this patty, I don't want the beef to explode. I don't want it to crumble out. So the flour is going to help stick everything together so when we bite into these patties, it doesn't actually fall out. All right, looks like the ground beef mixture is good to go. I'm going to set it aside and roll out the pie crust. In a situation like this where I don't have a large enough cookie cutter, any top of a jar will do. Now, in my experience, you could either take 2 pieces of dough and fasten them together, or you could take one larger piece of dough and fold it onto one another. The reason I'm doing that is because sometimes the hinge, the part where we fold it onto one another, is stronger than just connecting it and using a fork to crimp it together, which we're still going to do on the other side with the help of a little egg wash. Never skip egg day. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Eggs are good for so many things. One of those things is glue. Because if you didn't know this, eggs are nature's glue. And this egg wash on these patties are gonna help keep that awesome meat flavor inside these turmeric-based pockets. Now, I have to admit, I made these patties fat. Like, I stuffed in a lot of meat filling into them. And you know what? I'm not even mad about it. And neither should you be, because these are my meat patties. And I can stuff them however I want. Because let's be real. The only way you can fail at making this is not making them at all. And let that be a life lesson, whatever that lesson may be.
Whoa. All right. Turmeric infused pie crust used with vegetable shortening to create this flaky pocket full of savoriness. Then all things kind of like Jamaican inspired, allspice, some cinnamon, some cumin. Yeah. The beef has so much succulence to it. There is so much flavor and so much going on in here. This turmeric-based pie crust is so flaky. I can't believe I even did it. And you could do it too. You just gotta follow the link in the description down below for the entire recipe, or hit up recipechampions.com. I got a couple more patties to eat, and much like every other time, I'm super excited. Bye.